Warning! Do not attempt the toy destruction you see in this video at home. Leave this sort of work to the professionals.
Well, hello there, my lovely audience. We're going to get into another Big Hero 6 Dark Side video, and I have found, and it wasn't cheap, an Armored Up Baymax toy. I've got the real toy so we can make some comparisons there. I'm also seeing some very, very strange combinations going on, like this Big Hero 6 with, what? Disney Frozen characters as well? And lucky for you guys, I have now watched the DVD of Big Hero 6. In episode 1, I did try to munch up some of the knockoff toys there, but the blender failed on me, so the toy semi-survived. It was an Aldi blender here. It's got some mechanical problem going on inside there. I've gone inside and I've grabbed a Sunbeam blender. This was around $80 in Australia. It's got a nice thick glass jug, and we'll see if we can destroy this one. The first knockoff toy I'd like to take a look at is this knockoff Armored Up Baymax. Luckily for me, I have the real Armored Up Baymax. This is one of my daughter's favourite Big Hero 6 toys. That's his body. It's got the pear thing in the middle that you turn around to fit the armour on. There's the pieces of armour. I looked online. It's a toy that's between $20 to $30. It really does depend where you buy it from and also which country you come from. I think it's very worthwhile to come in and check out what this knockoff is doing. I'll show you the back of the box. That's what the back of the box is doing for us. It looks all very impressive. And how much did I pay for this? $35? So obviously that's a complete rip-off, but look at the effort that they've gone to on the box here to make this look like the real deal. I think there'd be many people who would, imagine if you were buying this online, you would be so easily fooled by this. I'm sure of it. Down the bottom is instructions on how to do the Baymax. Let me just crawl along there so you can see the instructions. And I'll come in for the unboxing shot, or else people will get ranty when I put unboxing in the tags and I don't show an unboxing. I'll give you a synopsis of the shop that I found this in. It was an old photo shop that, of course, these days people don't process photos. It looked like it turned into a telephone shop, which had sort of failed. And so then they've basically gone into the business of selling this sort of rubbish. Mind you, this looks like a fairly high quality knockoff. Well, let's be reminded, Big Hero 6 is a Disney film. There was no Disney info on the box. Bandai made the original toy. There was no information about Bandai. His head. Wow. Yeah, it's good I've got the original toy because we can make direct comparisons. But I really feel that you could easily be caught out if this is being sold online. They've gone to a lot of effort to make this look like the real deal. I was just thinking, for the empty packaging there, you could make a gummy Baymax, couldn't you? Fill it up with gummy stuff. Or am I just dreaming? Dreaming again. Okay, here comes the knockoff Armored Up Baymax. Oh yeah! Let me just split him here because I want to compare the guts to the original toy. Come on. That's it. Oh, what is that? Some sort of picture or something on it. Wow. This is a very strange animal. Now there's something seriously wrong because that shape isn't what the real Baymax looks like. There's a real toy there next to it. Get my camera as close to being on top there. You can see there's some weirdness going on. I can't split the middle of this fake one and spin it around, so it's like a, I suppose, an in-between blubberized midsection. Trying to pick the right words out without sounding crass. Oh, look at this! Got a sound chip or something in there. Let's pull this tab out. Wonder what's going to happen. At the moment, nothing's happening. Got to pull its head. Wake up, Baymax. Oh! What do I do to get that to work? Ah, it's the head. Oh, I could do that all day long. So there's a nice clear shot. That's the real Baymax there. Over the side is the knockoff one, of course. And it's weird, it's got this sound feature. Yeah. Weird that it's got that sticker there. But the shape is also very strange as well. There's no program area on this one, whereas the real one has it, and there's just all bits of fine detailing that are all wrong on that nasty, noisy knockoff. Well, let me pull off one of those infamous in-hand appraisals without triggering the sound button. As you can see, it wouldn't take much to rip the arm off. It's already starting to split if I do that. That's what you're buying into. Mind you, this was basically more expensive than the real toy. which is outlandish really, but that's the way the dark side works. I've noticed all the big hero knockoff toys are ridiculously overpriced. Yes, it wouldn't take much to rip this apart, but I want to give this probably a smackdown of Mr. Hammer once we get him dressed up. Well, there is some of his armour. This is the real armour and wings. We're going to take a closer look at this. This is the knockoff. They've gone to a lot of effort to make it look just like the real thing. Well, on closer inspection, you start to see it falling apart a little bit. The one my thumb is stroking is the real armour. This one here, which is a little bit duller, is the fake. The program area on this real one is not painted yet. The program area on the fake is. It's sort of strange how you see sometimes the knockoff stuff does a little bit more effort. In the wing area, that's the real armour there. The wings articulate and also detach. And as you'll see, there we go, that's the real one. As you'll see on the fake one, we've basically got, it's an exact replica. They've just gone and exactly copied the toy. You've got the it comes off a fair bit easier, but we've got the articulation there, and the wing does come off. And I know you'll be asking, well, Leo, can you put a real wing on the fake armour? Let's have a go. That's a real wing in my hand there, onto the fake armour. Yep, exact fit, perfect fit. How about something a little bit nastier? What about the fake armour, just the front piece, and we'll apply it to the real armour. Take away the front piece, we'll see if we can get it to fit. So we've got fake on the front, real on the back. Will this work? Well, it looks like it will. Just being a bit careful here, getting it lined up correctly. Yep, there we go. It's a little bit tight. Yep, it's snapping on now. Okay, so it's fake front, real on the back. Wow, that's really, really spooky, isn't it? Well, I think the next logical step is to armour up the real Baymax here, get it looking all nice and pretty, and we'll armour up this nasty cloner as well. Just as I'm armouring up the real toy here, do you remember it has a feature where you pull the arms out and the midriff can be spun around? It had my daughter confused a bit when she first played with this toy, and as I thought, the toy never really got armoured up again. Only got shown in the review armoured up. This will be the next time it's getting armoured up since then. But now that I see that, it's actually sort of the same shape as the Faker, which you cannot split the middle and make it look good like the Stay Puft Baymax, the look that my daughter loves. But, well, that's what you're getting when you get into the dark side. This is actually quite a good toy, and let's be reminded that when you're buying the good toys, you get all the good features. Okay, we have our armour on, all apart from the helmet. Over there, that we're looking at now, is the real Armored Up Baymax, and it's a lovely toy, goes together nice and crisp. Be a nice word to use. The knockoff one, surprise, surprise, it actually went together very well as well, and what we're dealing with here is these components are exactly the same on this one as they are on the real deal. A great example to show you how close the real is to the fake is these helmets. They are basically identical to look at. It's only under closer scrutiny can you tell the real from the fake. This one here is the real one, and I'll show you how you can tell. Okay, here is the things to look out for on the real one. We've got some metal fleck in the plastic there. It's very subtle, but it is there. The earpieces here are a different sort of plastic. They are nice and soft because this is a toy which is made properly, and the way you can tell that it's a different piece is you look inside the helmet and you'll see that it has been inserted in there. So if you went along and you stood on that, you're not going to break it because it is nice and flexible. Okay, that's the real one. Let's take a look at the faker. I can't see the metal speckle in this at all. I meant to look at it. It looks identical. It's been painted identically, but the earpiece is one piece. It's actually the hard plastic. So if I stood on that, I've got a good chance of breaking it off or putting a hole in my foot. If we look underneath here, you'll see that it's all just one piece. So that there is the nasty clone, and this one here is the real McCoy. Now I hope Disney people are looking at the efforts that people go to clone their miraculous toys, and also the people at Bandai. I'm taking a lot of time here to show you this. Normally I'd just be into the smashing mode by now, but I think it's really important for us to understand how desperate the dark side can become. Let's see if I can get this helmet on without setting off that annoying sounds. And it's a reminder, those annoying sounds are often what the dark side likes to serve up in their nasty clone toys. These two are so similar, I'm actually going to weigh them up as well. It's not often I get into looking at the weights on these knockoff toys. Okay, the real one is 357 grams. I'm sorry for the people in Imperial World. I'm not going to do the Imperial, I'm just going to do grams because I haven't got the time. and the faker is 319. So this fake Baymax is 38 grams lighter than the real deal standing here. Well, let's just see how much of a lightweight this guy is and introduce him to a little friend of mine named Mr. Hammer. Okay, Mr. Fake Armored Up Baymax, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how much this hurts. Okay, Mr. Hammer. Oh yeah! Woohoo! Baymax has left the building. Let's have a bit of a post-hammer analysis there. I can see a bit of a blow there. He's broken a bit there, but it's not too bad actually. There's his helmet. This body was down on the floor. We've smacked out a leg. You can start to see the guts inside. Not much going on in there. Over here, we've got, well, basically his armor came flying off. I could probably rebuild this toy if I took a little bit of time and we could have a second stab at him. I think he needs another go. Record Ralph or Mr. Hammer's feeling a bit sore. I'll have to give him a hand to get back together. Well, this nasty clone is actually coming together rather easily. What other nasty little things can I do to give this robot a new program? Well, our knockoff Baymax will get a new program via this multicolored plasticine. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? A couple of years ago, in fact many years ago, some American pyro guys told me about a charge called a Hershey's Kiss, and here's one I've made here. Do you know why it's called the Hershey's Kiss? I think it relates back to the shape of the charge, because it looks just like a Hershey's chocolate kiss. I hope. As you can see, there is multicolored plasticine on that, and when that goes off, we will hopefully see witness marks all over the beautiful white insides of what's going to be left of this destroyed robot. We hope it's going to be destroyed, but we'll be doing a bit of a CSI investigation once we've let off that quite beautiful looking charge. Okay, there's our multicolored Hershey's Kiss up inside the fake Baymax. All I need to do is to get the armor on to give this robot a brand new colored program. Okay, the nasty clone fake Baymax is armored up, he is charged up, and on a scale of 1 to 10, Mr. Baymax, this is going to be a number 10. Let's see if he blinks when that explosive charge gives him a new program. Okay, Baymax, time to blink. Well, looks like there's standing room only after that show. We should come in and do a post-blast analysis, as I call them. The legs there, one leg's escaped. Is that a leg there? Okay, bits of plasticine. You can see us smeared over these components. The other leg is there. Bits of the arms are there. More bits of the arms are over there. There's a great big chunk of body here, but I want to go to the floor next. And this is normally the thing you never see, of course, but on the floor here is lots and lots of bits of that Baymax, lots of the white components, a bit more of the armor there. Notice how the white bits have just basically shredded, okay, because that charge in there was quite a beefy one. The plasticine has actually just, well, turned into tiny little pieces, and they're all over the place. You're possibly wondering, why are you looking at the soles of my shoes here? Well, it's a great reminder that the plasticine was all over the floor, and my shoes have been picking it up as I've been walking around here. Haven't walked around very much, and I've picked up a ton of plasticine that basically I wouldn't have seen. But we can see the different colours there on the bottom of my shoes. Just behind the legs here, I do notice a fair bit of plasticine here. These are some of the larger pieces that are left on the table. You can see how our definition of colours has started to be lost, and the way the plasticine has been shredded up, because the explosives have worked at the plasticine to basically rip apart the toy. Just let me get all the pieces together, because I want to take a look at all of these components and we'll see what the plasticine tells us about the way it's broken up. Okay, I've got the parts divided up into basically the armor pile, which has actually suffered some damage. But the more interesting pile here is the puffed up Baymax. Explosives are always fairly honest in their appraisal of something. The charge in this was quite large. It was half the size of the goo explosion charge I did in episode 1. Part of the leg is up here, but let's take a closer look at this area here. Well, a Hershey's Kiss device was in here. There was a small electronics package that was all over the shop, and I've recovered some of it. Part of the groin goes here. But with the explosives, it tends to always find the weakest link. And as you can see, that it's blown out the plastic here, and it's basically left like a line all the way around, because that's a strong point with that, the way it's made there. And it's blown out part of the back here. I mean, this is a pretty tough toy. This is not your bad, well, I shouldn't say it like this. This is your high-end knockoff stuff is the way I should say it. Even though you could sort of pull it apart, this is actually a very, very robust toy. To look at the front section, remember that sticker on the front? That's been shredded. Okay, but then again, it's still pretty tough. You know, it's a very, very tough toy. And it gets down to smaller parts like that, and that would have been the front chest area. But nevertheless, now that I've seen this, I'm starting to understand that, yeah, this is not too bad. It's sort of knockoff stuff, but this is the higher quality stuff. As bad as that sounds. I'll be honest here, I really thought that charge would have totally annihilated this core of the toy. Mind you, if I look closely at the back here, you can see the cracking that's going on there. It's almost gone. I really thought the whole core would have broken up into really small pieces. I mean, I was expecting not to find anything bigger than that. The fact that survives is telling me something. Hey, let's take a look at the armored area next. Well, I was always expecting the armored area to basically have a fairly good survival rate, because it was like the second skin on this toy. Mind you, there are some areas here which have been devastated, and I think the weakening by the hammer blow was part to do with this. But it's very, very interesting to look at this part here. This is the back of the robot. The wings would be hanging off there. Now if I go and get this part here and marry it to there, ooh, it starts to tell a bit of a story about, well, where it really hurt when Mr. Baymax blew up. I think seeing the damage here, for the fact the inner core has got the blowout there, has also extended through to the outer armor. That shows you the intensity of the charge. Like I said before, I'm really surprised this stayed intact the way it has done. It does say a lot about the integrity of that Baymax. Mind you, he has been reprogrammed, and I'm sure that's the sort of program that he's never ever going to recover from. Ooh, another witness area is the box up the back at the rear of the table. And if you look very carefully, and I have to zoom in on it, you can see where pieces of plastic, high velocity plastic, have come in and cut up the box. That damage wasn't there before. There was a bit of a burn mark there, some other holes there. Yeah, when you start seeing that, you're thinking, ooh, that's really getting nasty. Okay, let's move on to these multi-character nightmare packs. There was a lot of discussion about the colour of this character here. I can't really get into too much detail there, but many people were saying that's completely wrong. There's Baymax there, Hero, and the others, and I've forgotten their names. And all this is about making the quick buck on something that's popular, something that's Disney. Take a quick look at the back of this box. I paid $15 for this nightmare. Okay. It's all about, you know, getting children's eyes. The children start nagging. The parents are silly enough to pass the money over to keep the children quiet. Let's take a look at this what's seemingly more elaborate box. Now this is a very strange one, and let me just track along to the figures here, and then you're going to get a bit of a surprise. Up the end here, we've incorporated some Disney Frozen critters. And here I was thinking it was only those spammy YouTubers who added Disney Frozen to everything to make it popular. No, it works on the dark side as well. There's a bit of artwork there as well. And I've got a very sneaky suspicion that the ones in this package are really, really low quality. In fact, there's just seen something that's quite funny there. Let's take a closer look. Oh, very strange box read. New series of products. Explosive listed. Latest product. What's explosive listed mean? So often the reads in these boxes are where the laughs are. That's the back of the box. We've got some characters. We've got names to go with the characters. There's the $12 I paid. I tried to bargain this down, and it was no. This is popular stuff, especially when we've got a bit of Disney Frozen added in. Well, I'll come in and do an unboxing because I think it makes sounds that people like. Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Come on, out you come, guys. Come to Papa. Ooh, these are nasty. There's some 50 faces on these as well. Do you want to build a robot? Or do you want to blend a robot? I'll also come in and unbox this, I would say it, better looking critters. Although we've got some colour problems going on here. Come on. Out you come, guys. This won't hurt a bit. Little do they know there's a blender about to take them out. They're fighting, aren't they? Come on. Ah. Okay, let's get these Disney critters done first. Oh, say guys, stop it, stop it. We want to just look at you. There's none of that on this channel, please. I believe we've got Elsa and Hans. Let's take a look at Elsa first. I hope I'm right in saying Elsa first. Okay, this is very, very low-end knockoff stuff. Okay, look at that. The head will just come out without any trouble at all. Remember, young children would get this. Imagine if a young child got this and that ended up down the throat of a baby, as babies do. You know, that's what, children do. They do silly things like that. That would choke a child, and then, if you're really unlucky, it would kill a child. That's why this stuff is so deadly. Okay, there's the rest of it there. There's nothing impressive here. Nothing at all. It's really sad, actually. It's so easy to find, and it never seems to stop. Okay, here's the Hans. Hope I'm right there. Very poor paint job. Just feels terrible. It's got a bit of articulation, and if you turn it around to the back, you'll notice that the painting, well, it only happens on the front. We don't need to paint the back because you never see it, do you? It's been given some hair there. But this is just very, very low-end stuff. Okay, it will take nothing to get bits of this off. Okay, look at that. Okay, it takes nothing to pull this apart. Very, very sad to see. Well, next up, is it Fred? I'm just looking at the back of the box. It's probably totally wrong. This is from the Frozen box, the one which had the Frozen critters in there, and this is terrible. Okay, again, it would take nothing to pull bits of this toy off. Okay, complete and utter rubbish. And there was a, same guy in the other box. A little bit smaller in scale, but a different sort of build. It's all one piece. Nothing articulates on this. It's like a vinyl. I think it's like a vinyl figure, the best way I can say it. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is not your low end stuff. This would be cracking up to maybe 5. Look, obviously I can't get bits to break off this. Okay, so well, there's your knockoff, which is I suppose your half baked knockoff. There's the one that's the killer style. Both are totally legal. Well, next is Wasabi. Okay, this is from the Frozen box, the one with the horrible ones that just fall apart like that. The killer toys, the killer knockoff stuff, the really low end, the lowest of the low. That's that toy. And I think the controversy with this one was when in the other box of the more vinyl styled toy, we had that. And now I've got a sneaky suspicion that the head on that one is actually another character. I can see a beard or something around there. I'll go to the close-up after I've just done the whole show of the figure here. Do you recognise that from something else? That's the question here. Okay, let me go for the close-up of the head. Okay, there's a closer look at the head of this white Wasabi. Looks like it's got a beard or something. I know I've got a fairly clever audience, and I'm sure someone is going to possibly say, well, hey, that's off this or that or the other. I know I've got people out there who know lots more than me. Okay, this is Honey Lemon. This is from the Frozen box, as I'll call it, the one with the really shoddy toys. Have a look at her first. Okay, that's one of the ones that you don't need to paint the back. Look at that, her hair. It's got a lot of gel in there, hasn't it, to do that? Shocking toy. The blender's going to love her. But, the head's just going to come off really easy, I'm sure about it. But hey, oh, sorry. Got a headache now. Let's take a look at the other one. This is the more vinyl style figure. Okay, like I said, there's a total difference between this and the other one. It's a slightly smaller scale. I shouldn't say that it's nice because it isn't, because these are knockoff fake toys, but you can see there's a big difference between that versus that, especially when the head's missing. Well, I've just slapped the head on. I want you to look at the eyes. It's all in the eyes. Very creepy, very spooky. Okay, this is the Baymax from the horrible, we'll call it the Frozen set. cheap and nasty. If I manipulate it a bit, it's going to fall apart. Of course, if we turn it around, well, we only get painted on one side again. And there's another one. I'll show you a real one soon of what has been ripped off. But here is the smaller vinyl one from the other pack, which again is a couple of, or quite a few steps up in knockoff quality. Doesn't sound right, does it? But vast difference between this, which is a little tough cookie, this guy, I can't basically break bits off that one, versus this shocker here. Well, there's the nasty one. I want to do a comparison for you to a real McCoy toy. That's the, I call it the action figure style one. And it's basically the same scale. Okay, so I wouldn't say it's a direct rip-off. There's differences if you look at these carefully. Obviously, there's lots more detail in the real McCoy toy. But, you know, you sort of wonder, why would anyone ever want to consider buying this sort of rubbish for their children? Okay, in the pack that was the vinyl figures, the ones that don't fall apart, there was this one here. Was it Go-Go Tomato? Go-Go Tomato? I say tomato, you say tomato. You can correct me if I'm wrong, I know you will. Yeah, I mean, one thing at least, the bits aren't falling off, but hey, they're not legit figures. And there was also Hero, and I will just show you Hero here. My goodness, I hope he's in focus. Okay, again, I can't get bits to fall off this. Maybe if I tried hard enough I could, but they're vastly different to those ones that were just falling apart in my hand. And let me get, are they the same heads on those? Or am I just dreaming there's been, I can't tell. I think it's just, you guys can tell me what's going on there. I know you will. Okay, time for a Big Hero 6 smoothie, and we'll add some ice on top with those frozen guys. Well, for this blend, I'll be using the Sunbeam Multi Blender Pro. This was just a cheapie that I bought. It was our house blender, making a few strange sounds. Doesn't sound good, does it? You're probably wondering, why aren't I using the Blendtec blender that I purchased? Well, I want to leave that for that train that I've got to blend through at first. That's the GoPro. It'll be stuck on there. I put a very temporary protective glass on the lid there. It'll work something like that. But I'll be quite honest with you, I'm a bit fearful of glass jugs, considering I had the Aldi one let go on me, and that's what dumped the GoPro down into the blender's blades. Something about the glass jugs I don't trust. What I'll do is I'll load up all of these real nasty ones into the blender, but I'll only put one of the tougher vinyl ones. There'll be Hero in there riding with them, considering that the really nasty ones didn't have Hero. Okay, might as well start loading it up and start chomping them up. In with Hero, and we'll have a bit of frozen goodness on top. My goodness, my crikeys, this crazy mix in here is right up to the max fill level. Okay, one Big Hero 6 smoothie coming up. Full power. Come on, guys. Hit the blade. Horrible sound. I think that's enough, but I think a fair bit of that survived. Oh, that was a very strange blend. I think the blender was having troubles. There's a strange frosted look that's gone on here. Putting those frozen guys in there may have been a big mistake. They've really chilled it down. I don't know how much that's captured, because I think that got affected by that frosting out. Oh, if only you could smell that. It absolutely stinks in there. Absolutely stinks. And it looks like a fair bit survived. Well, I better come in for the pour shot. Here we go. Big Hero 6 smoke with a touch of frozen. Don't breathe that. Well, here's the pile of stuff from the blender. It's very strange that some of this really shoddy stuff has semi-survived. I think something was caught up in there and holding these away from the blades. I mean, that one's basically untouched. How has that got through? How is... There's not a mark on that one. Maybe it was trapped in there. I don't know. Oh, I've snuck in. That's one of the tough guys. Okay, well, sadly, I put him in there. I was only meant to put Hero in, one of the tough vinyl guys. He's been chopped around a bit. Hero is there. That was one of the vinyl figures. Headless Hero. Oh, and legless as well. Been drinking too much. Okay, that's... Look at that. Nearly survived. Just sort of the head missing there. Bit of frozen memorabilia there. The one that's sort of taken the big hit is the Baymax. It's, well... all those little bits and bobs there. There's a bit of frozen stuff in there, but the bulk of that is Baymax. Oh, and there's Hero's head, looking very arty in that broken up Baymax field. Well, sort of a disappointing result. I was hoping to get basically all little tiny bits and pieces. Amazing that things have survived. Maybe it was overloaded. It was a Sunbeam Multi Blender Pro. Well, let's give it one more hit. Let's see if it's making those weird sounds. Oh, it's flinging stuff at me. I've got to clean it out. Well, it's not making weird sounds. It seems to be working. I'd sort of like to throw in this guy, just as an individual blend. Well, before I try and assassinate this Baymax in the blender, have a quick look over this one. I'm pretty sure it was the same one as this that I blew up in episode 1 of these. $8 I paid for this. And the back artwork looks like that. I should show you that before we rip into it. Okay, it's all about... getting your attention, deception, and the real crime is about to appear. Rah! Crinkle, crinkle. Lots of fun. Hello, Baymax. And I think there was a little wiring in here. All it is a battery for LED. I actually found... Remember I couldn't find the electronics package from the other one? Well, same things are happening. It's just falling apart. Got a red light there. Isn't that scary? Well, this is a fairly, I call it, mid-range quality knockoff toy. Although saying the word quality and knockoff doesn't really make sense, does it? Wouldn't take much to manipulate this. I might have to bring his arms in to fit him into the blender, because I think he's a bit fat. But we'll get him in there and we'll see if we can't munch him up into a new version of Baymax. Well, I've done a bit of a secret mod to this Baymax. I'm not going to discuss the arm wrestling we went through to get that done, but now he's in there, and guess what? He now dances on the blades. And let's not forget to sprinkle in the wings. Yeah! The GoPro is set and ready, and hopefully without the Disney Frozen guys in there, we won't get that crazy frosting going on. Okay, one Baymax smoothie coming up. Come on! You're gonna do better than that! Oh! Oh, I'm giving up on that one. That was sort of nasty and scary, and I think what goes on is these things spin around and they whip up and they don't go near the blades. I think that's what's going on. It was a real troublesome one to blend. If only you could smell that. Oh man, you can see a bit of smoke coming from that. Can you see the smoke? It'd be very fine particles of, I don't know what, would have got quite hot because it was actually quite a long blend. But Baymax doesn't look too crashed up, if you ask me. Okay, time for that poor shot. If I don't do this, well, you'll get angry. Big Hero 6 Baymax smoke. Don't breathe that. Well, I am sort of semi-surprised that, well, we've got, looks like the whole torso here. Okay, I'm sure it's a bit scratched up and banged around. Legless and armless, but not much damage to that at all. I think these are the arms. One has lost a fist, and the legs that were down in the blades, well, the legs have been munched up. But like I said, I just saw all this sort of stuff dancing around, whipping around, and basically all this stuff was being clear of the blades. It was almost like it was being saved by the whatever vortex action was going on inside this blender. I'm actually very disappointed with that. Let me just do a rogue blend without a camera on top of the blender. Let me just put Baymax's torso in. Okay, this is just a complete rogue blend, and see what's going on here. I just hope I don't pop the lid off. Okay, Baymax is in there. Hold on. And what is going on there? It's just dancing on the blade. Okay, that's full power. Oh, he's starting to dance a bit wild now. He's just getting little bits of him shredded off. That's not really weird, isn't it? Whoa! She's starting to break up now. She's breaking up, Captain. She's breaking up. Oh! I think the lid's about to pop on this thing. It's getting very scary. I don't know what's going to happen here. I might have to retreat in a second. Very rogue, this one's a hole. Come on, Baymax. Die! Die! Starting to go. Whoa, that lid is about to pop off. That's starting to whip around like it was before. Let me just turn this off. It's starting to scare me. That's starting to scare me a lot. Well, I'm not sure how good this blender is for blending toys. Let me do another pour shot here. I can get a second one of this guy. Okay, Baymax torso smoke. Don't breathe that. Well, I can assure you that these pieces are in that blender for quite some period of time, but I don't know how much of it I can put up onto YouTube because it will just blow the length of the video out. Although that's probably already happened. You can just see it's just been dancing and skipping on top of the blades. All those scuff marks there. The front piece as well, sort of basically intact. Well, so is the back piece as well. As surprisingly, considering what was doing in there, little damage, but then there's all these other little bits in here, and somewhere in here is the head, somewhere. I think the head was destroyed in that. Okay, well that was my second video looking at the Big Hero 6 knockoff toys. Up on the table there are the real toys. They are all excellent. Hopefully my video is a reminder to you, never ever get caught up in this dark side nonsense stuff, even though it presents half decent in box and seemingly some of it comes out okay, or seemingly okay. Don't go there. Be very careful if you're buying this stuff online, because as we saw with this Armored Up Baymax, that's the real deal there. I mean, the clone one was basically identical. It was very scary how close that was to the real toy. Mind you, the price was ridiculous. So it's all about the game of deception. Okay, be very careful buying them online. Hey, I ended up finding the hero, which goes with the big guy here. I'm glad I found him. I mean, the children play with these toys, they end up scattered a bit, and it's up to Daddy to go and find the stuff. I always said the best value I feel is the action figure type Big Hero 6 toys. It's one there, another one there, and we found this guy here. That's version 1, isn't it? Baymax. Very hard to find sometimes these toys, and there was the punching one there, and we also got the excellent DVD. It does make me sad because I see some people commenting saying that I am promoting knockoff toys. Please don't go there, guys. It really is the wrong thing to say. I don't know whether you're trying to stir me up or you're just trolling, but I'm getting very annoyed of the people who are making out that I'm trying to promote the knockoff toys. Anyway, guys, I've got to leave this video here. As always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and bye for now. Ooh, the video I made after this one was the Mallard Steam Locomotive versus the Blendtec blender. Very spectacular video. Which one do you think's won? The Mallard or Blendtec? Oh, I better come in and make an apology on the first Big Hero 6 Dark Side. I said the second episode we would look at a bit of Big Hero 6 and also these How to Train Your Dragon knockoff toys. Well, sadly, as you can see, this video has got far too long, so I'm going to have to slap these guys into another video somewhere in the future. And again, I'm very sorry.